All right, I think I have everything I need. My timer's gonna go off in the middle of this, but flourless chocolate cakes. So glazing the flourless chocolate cakes. So I just did the little guys, remember? You can, to warm the bottoms of these up, you can take them over, if you have gas heat, take them over the burner, so turn the burner on low and just turn it a few times on there very carefully, maybe wear some oven mitts. Just until you see condensation on the bottom of this, and that means that it's released itself from the bottom. And then you're gonna take a small offset spatula, you're gonna go around the outside of it, and that'll release it. It's still frozen, okay? And then you're gonna pop it out just like that, and take off that piece of parchment paper. So, before you even do that, you are going to get this setup. So I thought I was gonna do two for some reason, but I'm not. So you're gonna get a wire rack or a cooling rack on a piece of parchment paper lined baking sheet. So like this. You wanna do the parchment underneath to catch the extra ganache. If you're not gonna, because we wanna reuse the ganache once it falls down, I don't wanna just waste it. So I'm gonna separate these onto a rack like this. And then I have my ganache here. So the ganache you want to do first and then let it sit so it's not so warm. So I put the recipe in the packet. I just did 10 ounces of chocolate, 10 ounces of cream, and 2 ounces of butter, or 1 ounce of butter. So you're gonna, and the recipe's on the, I'll put it in the comments. So you're gonna boil the heavy cream. You're gonna have the chocolate and the butter in the bowl. You're gonna pour the boiled over the chocolate, let it sit for about 30 seconds, and then whisk it up. And then you just want it to like chill out for a little bit and cool down, so it's not so hot that it melts the sides of your cake. So, baking sheet, parchment, rack for them to sit on. If you don't have a rack at home, it's not the end of the world. You can glaze them and then take something like an offset spatula once they're glazed and come up on them. What you'll probably have to do is kind of clean up the outsides, and that's why I put sprinkles here, because that'll kind of mask the outsides. So you'll need cornets as well. So I have a couple cornets here. I'm going to show you how to do a cornet again. And remember, you want no holes coming through the bottom. So for cornets, you're going to have a square piece of parchment paper. You're going to fold that in half to a triangle. Okay, triangle. I'm gonna do it this way. So you're gonna take this, the right side, you're gonna flip it around to make a cone, and where those 2 points meet up, just like that. And it doesn't need to be super tight right now. Then you're gonna take the other side, fold it around to make the cone, and then you're gonna move these 2 outside pieces, the 2 outside corners, so that they meet up at the top. And you can see that it's going from like a hole to not a hole. So once they meet up at the top and you can look through and you don't see light coming through it, then you're gonna keep holding it like this with your thumb and your middle finger, yeah. And then you're gonna fold down twice to make it set in there. So you're gonna need a couple cornets. I would just do 2 just to be safe. And then a pair of scissors to cut the cornet. So that's a good one. It just came undone, so if it comes undone, then just fold it down one more time. Just means I wasn't a very good square maker. All right, so I have all my mise en place ready to go. Oh, white chocolate. So my white chocolate, I just melted in the microwave, 20-second bursts. Once it was melted, and I just bought cheap white chocolate at the store. 20-second burst once it's melted. So every 20 seconds, pull it out and stir it. Once it's completely melted, you're gonna add the oil. So I added 1 ounce of oil, 2 tablespoons of oil, and it makes it so it's this nice consistency and easier to pipe. I'm gonna quit messing with it so that I don't screw it up. So now I have, I'm gonna glaze these guys. So I'm gonna give my ganache a quick stir. And then I'm gonna pour it in the middle of the cake in a steady stream until it goes down the sides. And you can kind of check it out and make sure that you've reached all of them. It's kind of nice with these little baby cakes. They're not too hard to glaze. So you can kind of do this, help it along its way. They're so cute. They look like little ding-dongs, but they're much more delicious than a ding-dong. Okay, so you can see all this kind of waste going down to the bottom of the pan. I want to be able to save that ganache and reuse it, not waste it, so that's perfect. So like I was saying earlier, so if you have funky edges that you're not super stoked about, like I see one, or like if you feel like the tops are kind of weird, you can tap this. Sorry, football cookies. Okay, so you can kind of tap it to make it even. So then you want to work fairly fast. So you have, that's why you have your cornets ready to go and your white chocolate ready to go. So you're going to do the designs on the top. So you're going to take about 1 to 2 tablespoons of white chocolate, not a lot. Because remember, if you put too much in here, it's going to creep out the top. So with that seam facing away from you, you're going to take the 2 wings and you're going to fold them in, and then you're going to fold down to make a tight little package, okay? So once you have this tight little package, you're going to cut just the tip off the top. Be careful not to cut it like over the cake, because it'll just land in the cake, and kind of away from anything that may get into the cake, because you don't want someone eating the end of your parchment paper. That's kind of weird. You're also going to want to have some toothpicks ready to go, or a wooden skewer. When you cut this, you want to make sure that the chocolate is flowing pretty freely, no like bumps in the road. So the first one I'm going to do is kind of a spiral. Hopefully I can do it far away from me like this. So I'm going to start by a circle in the middle, and then I'm just going to follow it all the way around. This takes me back to my OCI days. Okay, so once you're all the way around, you're going to take your toothpick and you're going to come from the center out, and every time you're going to wipe off that edge. So it's going to kind of make a spider web. Okay, so now that you've done that, so you pulled out, so this time pull in. So in the middle of those, go in, and you're just scraping the surface. You're not going all the way to the cake. Look how cute! Okay, so the next one I'm gonna show you, I like this one for like Valentine's Day, or like, you know, whatever, telling someone you think they're rad. So little circles. I'm gonna do circles all the way around. See, my chocolate's starting to already kind of thicken, so you really have to move pretty fast with this. You guys are probably doing 1 and not like 10 like I am. Okay, so with this one, toothpick, and you're just gonna come straight through the center of those dots, all the way through. Looks kind of a little weird because my chocolate was setting up, but it's still super cute. I don't like how it's 2 there, but that's okay. So little hearts. And then you can do, what's another one? You could do like just stripes if you wanted to. So this one you would definitely want a super fine hole there. You could do, just trying to think of, just dots in the center. You could do dots on each like piece where you think you're gonna cut them. Remember to, once you wipe through, that you wipe off the toothpick, otherwise it's gonna screw up. So I'm gonna show you this last one. Ooh, my chocolate is setting up. See, look at that. So the end, how it's all wiggly, that's when your chocolate sets up and you have little pieces in there. But whatever, it'll be awesome no matter what. So this is a really easy way, and you can do this with sauces on plates too, like dessert plates. You could do all these same garnishes. So pull out and then come back through. Okay, and then let them set, refrigerate them, let them set, and then you can cut them and eat them.